The Center for Peace and Violence Prevention is an organization dedicated to the culture of peace and respect for human dignity. Our goal is to help people in conflict and post-conflict regions, to provide them with safety and to help them to overcome the trauma of the war. The project about the United for Mali project is aimed at providing protection for refugees. Now, over the last few years, we've seen millions and hundreds of thousands and possibly millions of refugees moving across the globe from different regions, but specifically also in our case in Mali. So this project is to provide refugees with a sanctuary where they can feel safe, that they don't have to take on the journey to Europe, because when refugees or when desperate people don't have some sort of protection or the place to stay, and they are being, in the case of Mali for instance, there is famine, there's global warming taking place, there's climate change, there's desertification. This is also combined with different sectarian violence, tribal and religious wars, and different sort of wars going on. Mali right now is one of the most dangerous places even for peacekeepers. Nearly 200 United Nations peacekeepers have been killed there. And so for peacekeepers who have the protection, it's still dangerous for them, let alone refugees. So our goal is to provide a safe place for them, which we've already done, a camp we have which provides safety for them. But they can only be kept in that camp if they have some materials like tents or maybe bucket or water or food, to stay there. Otherwise, they're also going to leave, and many people are going to get this mindset again that Europe is a better destination for us, and we have to lean towards Europe. And we know that is a very dangerous route, and we strongly feel that the need for us to provide protection for refugees within their own country, and this project is directed towards this initiative. The camp we have, where we have the refugees, they barely have food, they don't have water. We did a project with you last time, saving an emergency project to help provide food for them. That was a miracle for most of them, because before then we have had some deaths in the camp also, and we were able to provide these food and soap and other materials. Thanks to you for the platform you provided for us, we're able to reach the needs of the people very quickly. Now in the camp also, it's a rainy season, and it's so, even though Mali is a desert country, it rains in a short period of time in the year, and the rain is so violent when it comes, and so we are on so much tremendous pressure from the refugees begging us to please provide the tents for them, so that their children don't die from the wet floor, or so that the tent doesn't come too late. So every day we got our team on ground is getting calls and calls and saying, look, even if you have 2 tents, just bring it and put it down for us, because it's going to be too late before you bring it here. So that situation is so bad, despite the fact that they live in extreme and abject poverty. They got no food, no water, no toilet, nothing. They just need a place to lay their heads, and this is what they are asking for. My motivation beyond finding CPVP it's found within my personal experience. As a child, I was around 8 years old when the war started in my country, Liberia, and throughout my life, all I knew was war. I had no moment of peace until when I was adopted many years later, almost 2 decades later, by a Nigerian family. That was the only time I knew peace. And because of my personal experiences, and I've seen how refugees have suffered. I was also a refugee in Sierra Leone, I was a refugee in Africa, I was a refugee in Burkina Faso, I was also a refugee in Mali, and so I've seen the life of a refugee firsthand. There were times that we used to go and stand as far as 5-6 villages away, waiting and hoping for the WFP, the World Food Program, to bring food for us. And sometimes we would wait 3 months, 4 months, 6 months just waiting. And when the truck came, we were always so excited. But even at then, the food wasn't enough for us. I was also captured to become a soldier at a very young age, and I was able to escape afterwards. And Mali was this country that also provided a sanctuary for me. And when I left my country, I went through the forest and I walked to Mali. And so it's a country also that provided safety for me, and now they have their own challenges, but also that within the wars of Mali, a lot of young people are also being captured. Girls, boys are being captured to fight in these wars. And so the vision beyond CPVP on the personal level was for me to help other young people who are now going through what I went through back then in my days as a young person. Yes, once the project is completed, we hope that we will reach our target and reach our goal. Right now we have around 4,000 euros and our overall target is 18,000 euros. Once we reach our target, I will physically be on ground to document and also take records of the project. We have a team of people on ground who are also very competent. We will make a short video, a short documentary that we will also get back to you to share with your platform, and everybody would see that we actually did this project. We're not just asking for the money because we need the money for ourselves. We're asking for this money because we want to save lives. Now, we don't have much time to save the number of lives. Every other thing you can do, you can always postpone things, but you cannot postpone you cannot postpone the time to save a life, because when the life is lost, it's lost forever. It never comes back. And we live in society where there's so much peace that sometimes we don't comprehend what people living in troubled regions are experiencing. You're on the streets here, you don't have to dodge bullets. You know, you live in the streets of Vienna. In Mali, most people have to keep their heads down. They're dodging bullets. Most places, they don't even get out of their houses. They are living in a very terrified situation. And these refugees are now thankfully in a very safe place that we can help to encourage them and not to make them lose faith and lose hope. So we also want to show that there is hope when we are able to help one another. If we are able to reach our target, we will make this documentary, very short documentary, and we will be able to thank all the donors who participated to show the progress of these people from where they were at the time right now to where they will be as they transition into their new tents. I don't want to say home for the lack of better words, but into the new tents. We will show this and to thank the donors for this.